So how legal do I have to be to start my glamping operation? When should I call my jurisdiction to get plans going? And once I am going, how do I get people on my property so I can start making some money? Hey, I'm Chris Duke, the Glamping Guy, and I'm right in the middle of my class online called Easy Entry to a Glamping Business. And I want you to be involved, so go to glampingguy.com and get registered. It's only open for a couple of weeks, and then we move on into the glory of glamping. Now, I own and operate a successful glamping operation here in Monument, Colorado called Monument Glamping. But I also am a teacher, and I love to teach other landowners how to build safe, legal, and profitable glamping operations on their private property. If that's you, then go to glampingguy.com and get registered for my class. Like I said, it's only open for a couple of weeks, and before you know it, you'll have everything set to start your glamping operation on your private property. But in the class, I'm getting to know my students, and they're very good people, and they've been emailing me and posting things and really asking me questions that are reminding me of the good old days when I started 5 years ago. And 3 questions came in. I wanted to just read those questions out to you and then answer them, because you're probably asking the same questions as a young glamping developer trying to figure out how to do this wonderful thing called glamping on your private property. The first one kind of asked, how legal do I have to be? It came from Bobby from Alberta, Canada, and she said, my husband and I have bought land and it is a beautiful setup for glamping. Our biggest holdup right now is zoning and permits. I want to ensure that we have our T's crossed and I's dotted before we present the idea to the county. Now, I responded personally to Bobby, gave her some ideas, looked up her zone and figured some things out. And I hope my response helped. But I have a philosophy about zoning and permitting that I think will help you as a glamping owner and other glamping owners out there. She said something that I want to zero in on. I want to ensure we have all our T's crossed and I's dotted. Now, I don't want to be critical, but allow me to challenge that mindset just a little bit. I have not met a single glamping developer who waits till every single permit is in place before they start something. I believe successful glamping operators must see themselves as land developers. You know, like those big shots who are putting houses up across the country, across the world. One of the things I do as a volunteer here in my community is I write for the local newspaper, and I watch the town hall go through legal permits and things like that on building permits. And I have seen developers, I'm talking the big developers, the ones that are building houses and neighborhoods and things like that. They are constantly shifting, applying for variances, applying for permits and adaptations to their original permits. They never really do have their I's dotted and T's crossed. I think it's a fallacy to think that they would. I do the same thing. I'm in review with the county right now, even though I've been in operation for 5 years. I believe that waiting to have everything figured out perfectly will ensure that nothing gets done. You'll be stuck in analysis paralysis. The successful glamping operators just don't think that way. Just like the big land developers don't think that way. It's like you're fitting a round peg into a square hole, and you got to figure out how to do that, and that takes time and energy. And you know what? You will learn so much when you just put one step in front of another. Be satisfied with the permit that you have, start developing, and then you probably will develop and reapply or get an addendum or something like that. And that's how glamping development works. And you know, it helps to be part of a group like you're a part of, Bobby. We as glamping developers help keep each other sharp and accountable to building great glamping operations on our private property. The next letter came from Ashley from Southern California, or SoCal as she calls it. I wanted to add to last week's query on what's in the way. You said it, it's me, I'm the problem. I'm glad you're admitting it, because I do see that. Glamping owners, they're the problems and why they're not getting permitted properly. But good for Ashley, she's moving forward. She says, I went and did the one thing that's been keeping me up at night for a year. I called county planning, and after many tries, finally found a kind and helpful person who patiently and even enthusiastically answered a lot of questions for me at length. I was able to find a clear path. This is very much possible in my area of my county. Not to say it'll be easy or fast, but I think I have a timeline now and a list of things to do in order. Amen, Ashley. I'm so glad you're moving forward with this. You're calling your county planner and figuring it out. Finding a pathway is what my third video is all about in my class. Paving the way for your journey to go, yeah, like you said, it's going to be hard work, but it's going to go smoothly. I hope Ashley finds someone in her county, it sounds like she did, and everyone should find someone in their county to enthusiastically embrace your glamping ambitions. And if you have somebody in the government who's on your side, there's nothing stopping you. You'll be glamping in no time. Now, once you've got going, how do you get people to come to your glamping operation and start making money? Well, I got a question from KK Moody, who owns Glacier Rock Wellness Ranch in beautiful Packwood, Washington. Boy, does she got a nice place there, up there. She has 75 acres, renting 2 homes, 2 huts, a covered 10K square feet arena, covered pavilion, a shower barn, a hot tub, love shack, and a yoga deck overlooking the river, and currently working on 2 safari tents. Way to go, Kay. I'm so glad you're part of our community. But Kay is asking me about marketing. She says, I'm in full swing, but need help with marketing. Navigating the world of marketing can be daunting, especially when you're juggling the day-to-day tasks of just running an operation. The good news is, in the world of outdoor hospitality, there's a lot of options for us that are free, pretty easy to use, and you can get people to your property fairly easy. Here are some ideas of what I do as a glamping guy for my operation. First of all, our OTAs. The beautiful customer-to-customer operation of OTAs. I'm thinking like Airbnb and HipCamp and Vrbo and Booking.com. There's all sorts of them out there. Airbnb is the gorilla in the room. They're the biggest one out there, and really, if you're starting off or even if you're going for a while, you should have an Airbnb site with your glamping operation on there. But once you really get that going, you should open up a website, which I see, Kay, you don't have. You've got the domain, but you do need to get a website designed so you could have a place to land on that really goes into depth on your experience that you're offering. The OTAs really don't do that. OTAs want to keep people on their sites and registering with them. But if you can get direct bookings on your website, then you're not only keeping some of the money, but you're helping build your brand. Also, one thing I noticed on your area is that you don't have a Gmail account. You actually have your professional website. If you email info@monumentglamping.com, that'll come to me. But it has that Monument Glamping brand on it. It doesn't have monumentglamping@gmail.com, which I think is really where the email generates from. You're blanketing everything with your marketing, and that gets people to come back over and over to your site. And next thing on the list of marketing is social media. Social media is free. I don't really like calling it free because it takes a lot of time to manage and post and keep things going. I can't say I'm a master of social media, but I do have a Facebook, a Twitter, or X, and what else do I have? Even go to the next door and try to market there, and LinkedIn, and what else do I have? Oh, and Instagram, of course. So I've got a lot of social media going on, but I kind of feel your pain. It takes a lot of time, and when I'm filling up a hot tub, I don't really want to sit on social media and talk about it. But social media is where people are at. Whenever I put a Facebook ad up or something like that, I get people filling my vacancies. So I can't downplay the fact that social media isn't helpful. It is helpful. It just takes the time to do it. And I guess I'm struggling with you just the same, and I got to work on that. But that leads me to my next idea, is that really developing the processes. I should have a daily process to go into my social media and manage it and take care of it and post something. And even if it's something silly or stupid, I just should keep that conversation going with the social audience out there, because they are buyers. All of them are. And if I keep constant content that's helpful to them, they will eventually come to my yurts and tents and tiny homes and container homes and make me money. And my last idea to keep in mind is direct bookings. I mentioned a little bit earlier, but direct bookings is really where we all should be going. OTAs are helpful, but like I said, they try to keep you on their website. So instead, go for the direct bookings, and then you're able to keep emailing them and keep that list of people who are your customers and have them keep coming back to your beautiful property there in Washington. I hope that helps Kay, as well as Bobby and Ashley. I really am encouraged by this community that's happening over at my class at Easy Entry to a Glamping Business. The third video comes out on Tuesday, and it goes deep into the list. There's a huge list of things that you need to do to run a safe, legal, and profitable glamping operation on your private property. If that interests you, then go to glampingguy.com, get registered, and we'll see you in class.